Hey, it's me, Foxford from the Puppet Hideaway, and you're watching a podcast where nostalgia comes alive. It's Jake's Happy Nostalgia Show. Roll it!
Welcome to Jake's Happy Nostalgia Show, the podcast where nostalgia comes alive. Since July of 2021, Jake and his friends have interviewed professionals in the worlds of acting, directing, writing, puppeteering, and many more. Who will they be chatting with in this week's interview? Find out in this Jake's Happy Nostalgia Show episode.
Hey everyone, welcome to this episode of Jake's Happy Nostalgia Show, where nostalgia comes alive. I'm your host, Jake Deffinbaugh, and as always, our co-host, Chris Bixby, and Matt Bingel with his pal, Julius the Snoof. How you guys doing?
We're good.
Hello. We're doing good, Jakey. How you doing?
That's good to hear. I'm doing great, as always, every episode. And Matt, or Julius, what do we have for today?
Well, first off, we'd like to welcome everybody to the continuation of our second anniversary month, the Jake's Happy Nostalgia Show. Yes, we are celebrating all month long our second anniversary. Hooray! As for today's guest, Matt, our special guest today is a puppeteer who's also a puppet builder. He served as an assistant Muppet performer for Sesame Street, right-handing for Big Bird, being the back half of Snuffy, among a few others. And he was also one of the cast members of the 2019 iteration of our previous guest, Marty Robinson's off-Broadway musical, All Hallows Eve. Please welcome Austin Costello. Welcome, Austin. How you doing?
Hey guys, I'm good. I'm happy to see you. Glad to finally be here. You guys did nice homework too. Okay, you got me in the back end of Snuffy. Cool.
Yes. Yeah, we've heard about the back half of Snuffy. We'll get to that in a bit. Yeah,
Yes, definitely.
From a previous guest, right? So
Yeah.
we know who you are, and we kind of did. But in your own words, would you kind of introduce yourself a little bit?
Sure. Yeah. I'm Austin Costello. I'm a puppet artist from Long Island, and I love doing all things puppet and theatery and puppet video projects and all that fun kind of stuff. I've really found a good place in the world of puppetry, and all different kinds of puppets too, which has been a good time.
Awesome. So, what was your background like, and how did you grow up?
I grew up a major Muppet geek. So Chris, your room there is a lot like what my room still looks like, my
Yeah.
work room here. All kinds of
Yeah,
Muppet
yeah.
stuff, all the videotapes, all the books, all the plush toys. And in the same way that people might know the stats of a baseball player, I knew the stats of the Muppet performers. Yeah, that's Frank Oz. He does Miss Piggy and Grover and Bert and Cookie Monster. And he does Yoda. Now, Yoda's not a Muppet, but a Muppet geek. And when I was 13, I found my way, long story short, to the set where the Sesame team was shooting a direct-to-video special. And there I met Marty Robinson, who you guys have talked to, and he kind of took me under his wing and mentored me for many years. And kind of here we are now, doing lots of things in Puppetland, thanks to the help of him and other people who've mentored me through time.
Yes,
Yes.
like you said, we've interviewed Marty. He's wonderful, and we interviewed
Oh my
his
gosh, yes.
wife, Annie Evans, too.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yes,
Her on.
yes, we did. But
Yes.
which Marty himself made a cameo appearance on.
Yes.
he did.
Yeah,
Yes,
he was like,
he did.
oh,
That's always-
oh, these guys.
Yeah, it's lots of little
guys.
things of him up here. I have an Audrey too. There's a Snuffy up on my shelf, so he'll be in the background here somewhere,
Wow.
too.
Oh,
Nice.
very nice.
That's
Very
awesome.
nice.
So I'm kind of curious, what got you into puppetry?
Yeah, I was a big Muppet fan. I mean, like everybody else, presumably around our age. A lot of watching the Muppet Show on TV when it was in reruns, watching Sesame Street, of course. And then when I was in probably seventh or eighth grade, I said to myself, either I have to stop watching Sesame Street or I have to find a way to make money doing it. And so thankfully, I found that the puppets can be a gig, can be a real job.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Absolutely. So now, before working on Sesame Street, you first worked at the Jim Henson Company. Can
Yeah.
you talk a bit about your work with them?
Yeah, I interned for them at first in the summer of probably, I think it was 2015. I interned for them. And some of the jobs that I had to dust Jim Henson's light up moose head, from like all the archival photos, that picture of him in his
Yeah,
office
yeah.
with the moose.
Mhm.
That, so they left the picture of me dusting it somewhere, like, don't break it. Whatever you do, don't break it. It belonged to Jim Henson. And yeah, doing little odds and end jobs, actually in their archives first with Karen Falk, who I just love. And she's been a good friend and another kind of Muppet geek source for me. Yeah, so I did a lot of work in the archives there, and then I built like 1,100 arm rods or something. I didn't have any skin on my finger one summer from ripping gaffer's tape to wrap the rod. All right, that was one. Rip two. So making just hundreds and hundreds of them. And yeah, the Henson Company is a great gig. Again, it's in New York, so it was like a convenient thing for me. Great drive, do the internship, and then I worked there for a summer as well, doing all kinds of helping clean up and move things around. And hey, can I open this box? And it'd be a box of Muppets Tonight prototype puppets. Anything crazy that would just show up in the workshop one day. So it's always moving, always shuffling things through there.
That's
Wow.
awesome. So I'm kind of curious, like specifically, like what were some of your favorite like Henson or Muppet projects growing up?
Ooh, I still have my childhood copy of The World of Jim Henson, which I'm surprised this tape still even plays. I must have watched this video a million times. And it was like a scavenger hunt watching that and trying to figure out, okay, what is the Jim Henson Hour? This was before YouTube, so we didn't have access to that. We didn't have access to Song in Cloud Forest and the Fantastic Miss Piggy Show and Old Sesame Street and Old Muppet Show. A lot of that wasn't out there yet. So it was really cool to watch this production to kind of go forward from there. Again, had a lot of Muppet Show tapes and a lot of the old Sesame videos too.
Oh, nice.
Very nice. Now, didn't you also do some work for Jim Henson's Red Book as well?
Yeah, I wrote for the Red Book. Yeah, that was fun. It was kind of unexpected because I don't consider myself a writer or a journalist or anything like that. But Karen Falk would say, okay, your assignment today is go ahead and write about the Carol Burnett Muppet Show episode, the Kenny Rogers episode. And then that would branch off, okay, well, let me go to Muppet Wiki and double check where else they appeared and what else they did with the Muppets and kind of hone in on that. And then it was kind of cool because what I would do, I would write, let's say I think I wrote for the Marty Feldman one? Anyway, I wrote for a handful of them. And it was nice because what I was able to do was then go through the archives folders and scan images that maybe people hadn't seen. So there's like some character art that's out there that made its way, hopefully on the Muppet Wiki by now, that hadn't been out there yet. And I said, hey, Karen, do we have anything on Sopwith the Camel? Oh, yeah, we've got a character sketch by Carolee Wilcox from the mid-'70s. Yeah, you could scan that in and put it online. Great. So kind of fun to be able to serve the other Muppet geeks in that way, kind of dig around.
Awesome.
Very nice. Now, for those who don't know what the Jim Henson Red Book is, I guess it's kind of like a daily log. Yeah, that's pretty much what it is.
Yeah, it was Jim's journal for a long time, and he would write down important events that would go on with the dates and little notes about it. And then the Red Book, which was a part of the Henson Company website, they would embellish on those things. So again, if he said shot Muppet Show with Carol Burnett, then I would write, okay, on this episode of the Muppet Show, I don't think it's up online anymore, but that was the idea. We're going to go in and embellish. And I think the book, I have it on my shelf, so Imagination Illustrated gives a lot more of that too. That's kind of an expanded Red Book. Wonderful book.
Nice.
Very nice.
Awesome.
Very nice. So now with Sesame Street, how did you begin working with them?
Yeah. When I was I was just about to go into my third year at the University of Connecticut. My major was in puppet arts, and so I got to know Marty Robinson even better and a few of the other Muppet performers. And I was invited to what was at the time an audition, but turned into a workshop by audition. You had to send in a videotape. At least it was uploaded to YouTube. It wasn't actual videotape. And then they would kind of screen through them, invite you in, and then you did like a 2.5 or 3 day workshop with the Muppet performers. It was Peter Linz and Marty Robinson and Matt Vogel. And I'm a big believer in, even when something is not an audition, yeah, it's only a workshop, it's still always an audition. They're still always kind of looking at you as a character and how you read the room and how you respond and react to things. So by doing that workshop and getting to know some of the other Muppet performers well, one day I got an email. Hey, are you free? I think it was like April 15th to come work Sesame. Yeah. And when I woke up from being passed out, just fainting from hearing the news, I said, yes, I'll be there. Absolutely. No problem. And the first thing I did was, it was a big octopus puppet. It was me and Stephanie DeBruzzo and Liz Hara all doing
nice.
rods for an octopus puppet, with Marty Robinson doing the lead, this big bobbly headed octopus. Real funny.
Yeah, I've seen the episode that octopus appears in. And
real funny.
Yeah.
For those who don't know, the character's called the Bagels and Octopus, which is in an episode in season 46.
Yes.
Yeah, that's right. The bagels and octopus. Yeah, it was that they have to leave Hooper's store, but don't want Cookie Monster to go in and eat a cake they've been working on. So Grover has a bagel and locksmith company, and he can't get the alarm code off. And when Chris Knowings sets it off,
Mhm.
he gets attacked by this big octopus in a security outfit. Really silly.
Wow. Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So, what are some of your earliest memories watching Sesame Street growing up?
Ooh, yeah. I mean, I had the books and again the videotapes and all that. I know I watched the 25th anniversary special. It was a blue videotape. I watched that with my granddad. I watched that video over and over and over and over again.
Yes.
A great compilation
Oh, yeah,
special of
great,
old stuff, but
great
new
special.
wraparound stuff.
Ah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a really
we
good
have-
one. Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, exactly.
We have
Right.
it.
Really,
I love
Yep.
that one.
That's
Yep.
it.
Yeah,
I love that
I
one.
had
Sure.
that copy, but it's off
Same.
DVD.
Fantastic
It's on
Yeah.
special.
DVD.
Well, again,
Yes.
I'm still big into videotapes, and
As am I.
two
As am I.
another favorite, the Being Green tape. That's a
Oh,
good one.
yes.
Oh wait,
yeah.
Yeah, I got
I think we
Oh,
have
my-
that too.
think I have
somewhere.
that
think it's
too, yeah.
upstairs.
Yeah, good.
Yeah.
Yeah, my own puppet company, stuck in LVCR Puppet Productions. I kind of like the idea of nostalgia. I love the idea of old videotapes and record albums. Like I have a jukebox. I'm into all this good old stuff, and I think it's kind of fun to bring some of that feeling back with puppets, whether they be kind of primitive or done intentionally primitively. It's kind of a fun way to go about it.
Definitely. So,
For
you know,
sure.
growing up, who are some of your favorite Sesame Street characters?
Oh, Telly and Snuffy, which kind of makes sense, seeing as
Yeah.
Yeah.
seeing as Marty was a big icon for me, and I love the Count and Bert and Ernie, and of course Kermit doing the news reporter bits, and I love a lot of the giant puppets that they would do. So Snuffy and Big Bird, and even aside from Sesame, I love Thog and Sweetums. The big full body Muppets really. I love doing full body mascot kind of puppets, so that
Oh, yeah.
kind of evolved in that for me.
Definitely. There are a lot of good ones. My favorite Sesame Street character, I think, would probably be Grover.
Yeah, Grover's terrific. Absolutely.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Seems to be most
Yes.
people's favorites on this show. Yeah, a lot of people
Yeah.
like Grover.
Just
Yeah.
good.
I mean, the Grover and Mr. Johnson bits are just like
Oh my god.
so
iconic.
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 Yeah. Yeah, for
Definitely.
real. Very, very funny.
Definitely.
So many great characters. So
Definitely.
Yeah, which is kind of the fun too. That I mean, all these great characters have made it through all these years. I mean, you look at Sesame Street and say,
Yeah.
"Holy heaven, this show's been on forever." So
Right.
something is working, and
Yeah.
it's really incredible because
Yeah.
when you're kind of being hired to work the Muppets, they ask you to have bold, specific characters. You have to be up on your monitor work, and if you're left and you're right, you're up and you're down, and all that. But they also want you to have bold characters in your pocket. Nobody wants to watch a wishy-washy puppet show. Everybody wants to watch a character that is determined and has a purpose and has a reason. And that's like this little floofy guy here. I see he's got something purposeful going on. He's sniffing for something. So that's what they look for.
Definitely.
So did you have any like favorite Sesame Street songs?
Favorite songs. I love the Batty Bat by
Oh,
Count
yes.
Basie.
Yes, that's a
Uh-huh.
great one.
Oh,
Yeah, that's a good one. I did this big Halloween
Yes.
show. It was kind of inspired by that number. I kind of said, gee, let's evolve it from there. A big Halloween show that I did last fall with two best friends of mine at my theater, and that was kind of the starting point is with the Batty Bat. So that was one that always lives deep in me because I think it was on that 25th anniversary tape. That's probably
Yeah.
why it was probably in there. I think so. And yeah, I mean, I grew up again in a time before there was a lot of YouTube. There were some CDs that were out there. I had the cassette tapes when I was growing up too. That tells you some of it. And I ended up ripping a lot of stuff off of YouTube. There was one website that was out there. I was thinking about this the other day. A website that was out there, and it was a woman who was ripping like every track that she could from every Muppet media source. So I ended up just like making my own homemade CDs of like every Sesame song I could, every Muppet Show track I could. I've got them buried away somewhere. And yeah, and again, that's it, the whole thing too. They just do such great music. I mean, they do great comedy, great music, and it's really been a gas to be able to hang around watching all that too. Because of course, watching it on set, the stuff that doesn't make it to air is equally funny. They don't turn the characters off just because the cameras aren't rolling. Some great stuff that I've watched them do that probably shouldn't be out there. Big Bird, Momo, and everybody. And
Definitely.
just wonderfully funny. So yeah, the music is terrific.
Definitely. There are a lot of great ones. One of my favorites that's also on that special is We Are All Earthlings.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Oh yeah.
Beautiful song.
Classic,
Beautiful.
amazing.
Yeah.
Wonderful song.
Definitely.
Yeah,
Beautiful
cool.
song. Beautiful song. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, we do get some other tapes somewhere. I think they're all upstairs though. Most of them are, yeah. That's fine. So what was your first day like getting to work on the Sesame Street set for the first time?
Ooh, it was kind of amazing and kind of terrifying because I like I said I'd grown up knowing Marty Robinson and getting familiar with a lot of the other gang there, Pam Marciero, who's lovely too. Um, so I had known a lot of them, at least on a hi, how are you basis. But now it was different. It wasn't just, hey, Austin, come stand in the corner and watch what we do. Now it was, no, you have to come play too, which was kind of a wonderful invitation. But also, all the people I wanted to be when I was a kid were now watching. And we're on company money to make sure that I do it right. So don't blow a take. Don't get your head in the shot. Don't say anything. Actually, my very first take, my very first shot at Sesame, we were doing this octopus, and I'm back to back with Marty. I've actually got rods right here. We're back to back with Marty, and we've got the octopus over our heads, and 3, 2, 1, go. And we start rolling backwards on rollies, and I fall right off and land on my back. I yell, oh, crap. All right. So first take, not going to happen. But the good news is the world kept turning. They didn't fire me. They didn't say, great, you last up your first shot. Then go back to Long Island. No, they were there. Okay, great. We'll do it again. Okay, we're going to be all right. So there is hope for those of you who are getting over puppet injuries or puppet goofs. But yeah, the first day, wonderful though. I mean, really lovely. And it's funny because they didn't need me to do it. It wasn't, hey, Austin, you're the only guy who can hold these couple of rods. It was just a way of kind of seeing who would work well in the room and kind of play well with others. So I'm glad that they thought that of me.
Definitely.
Yeah, we've heard about those rollies.
Yes,
Yeah.
I've definitely
We've
heard
heard
a lot
about
of
them.
stories about them.
Yeah, they could be wonderful. They could be death machines. This is like an $800 one that Tyler Bunch recommended to me.
Oh,
It's like
nice.
they could be really wonderful and state of the art, or
Wow.
they could be clunky and scary and kill you. So
Right.
if your center of gravity is just right in the middle.
Yeah. I actually, in school we had something similar to those, like in middle school that we used to play on, and
Oh
then
my gosh.
I was in
Oh my gosh.
The square color things. Those
Yeah.
guys?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
I had those in elementary school.
In,
Oh
s-
my
in,
god,
s-
the
in,
flashbacks are real.
in sixth grade, I went on one of those, and I like chipped my upper front tooth.
Oh.
Good.
Yeah.
Oh my.
Okay. All right, that's fun. That'll remind you to be careful on them.
Yeah, that's fun.
And my family and the school system kind of went at it for a while about that too, so that was fun.
Yeah, I can't say I would do the same thing.
Yeah. Gosh.
Yeah. So, are there any favorites you worked on that kind of like really like stick out as some of your favorites?
Like favorite episodes.
One it wasn't even an episode actually. It was the Macy's parade. I had asked Marty and Matt for a couple of years, hey, can I do the parade? Matt Vogel, can I be a part of the parade somehow? I would love to do it. It's so cool. I live in New York. Look, I'm right here. And I was working with Marty and Jen Barnhart and Tyler Bunch and a bunch of others on his project All Hallows Eve. Marty did this amazing Halloween show a couple of years ago, and Marty said, yeah, let me text Matt. It had been October. Yeah, let me text him. It'll be the end of the month. And he says, hey, I can't get you in the parade, but I can get you in the rehearsal. They couldn't get Bryant Young out to be the back end of Snuffy for it would have been Sesame's I think 50th anniversary. I think it would have been the year. And they were finally putting Snuffy in the Macy's parade. They had never done it before. And so it was incredible. I'd been in Snuffy, I think, once or twice before. And so we all met up at Herald Square, right at the corner of Macy's, which was amazing. And it's big compound. It was Jason Weber and a few of the Muppet Wranglers were there. Jason Weber, head of the New York shop. And we got into Snuffy, and now we're going down 34th. And we're getting faster and faster and faster. Now inside Snuffy, it's a big bamboo structure. It's all bamboo rod that kind of gives them that incredible, beautiful shape. And you wear a backpack. But when you're in Snuffy, you kind of have to squat, arch your back, and spread your legs a little bit. And you put your feet into these two tennis shoes, and those are his feet. And the way Snuffy walks, he walks the same foot at the same time, as far as I remember. Don't kill me, Marty. And and so now we're going faster and faster, and I'm like, I'm gonna fall. I'm gonna get killed. The belt buckle that's in there, the seat belt that has in the back, wasn't even around me all the way. I was not totally ready. I thought, this is it. I'm gonna kill Marty, and it's gonna destroy Snuffy, and they're gonna send me to the sun on a rocket to destroy me. But no, it worked out, and it was just a fascinating thing. There's a beautiful picture out there. It's Snuffy, who they long thought to be imaginary, under a big sign that says "Believe" for Macy's for Christmas, and that was kind of an amazing. I think Paul Rudolph took that picture. I think just an amazing full circle moment for Snuffy.
Cool.
We were all there, and just cool. So just a wonderful experience. But I mean, working on the show, there's always like something funny going on. A lot of lovely people and a lot of really funny scripts that they do, and a lot of goofy stuff they do off camera. Every time I could, I would try to grab a honker. The honker, the guys with the noses and the horns on their heads, and try to stick one of them in the background. I love them as a kid. My brother loved them as a kid, so he's in the background. There's one. There's a honker meticulously cleaning a counter in Hooper's store in one episode in the very beginning. I couldn't tell you which one. Season 51 probably. And yeah, that's me in there, like honker, just as OCD as I am about keeping things neat.
Yeah, we've heard about the back half of Snuffy. In fact, Jennifer Barnhart told us what was it? There was some big what was it? Running through Manhattan, I think it was.
Oh, one of the marathons.
Yeah,
I think so.
Yeah, it was one of the marathons. Yeah,
that might be it. And you just see Snuffy going all through Manhattan, and people are stopping traffic trying to get a glimpse of Snuffy.
Yeah, yeah.
And she said like once he starts, you're going full speed, and you better catch up.
Yeah, that's right.
You better catch up.
That's a test that Marty puts you through. It's a challenge that he does, where we shot a mannequin challenge back when that was like a viral thing to do.
Oh yeah, I remember.
Love the mannequin challenge.
And they called.
Really
they
cool.
said, "Okay, everybody, that's lunch."
Yeah.
Boom! He books it. He is running full like stampede snuffleupagus speed, and I'm in the back like, "Okay, gotta keep up, don't fall." And then he gets out and he shakes my hand. "Nice job!" And I'm like, "Yeah, nice job, nothing. You're trying to kill me back here." But it's a test. It's kind of a rite of passage to kind of torture the new kids. And I've heard stories from Ryan Dillon and from others about how they just, they kind of haze you in a little bit, but they do it lovingly.
So have we. We've heard stories about that too.
Oh yeah.
Well, that's my Muppet hazing story then. Running full speed in the back of Snuffy. Twice, actually.
Twice?
So at Macy's and on set. At Macy's when we're out in front of the work, on set where we're in front of a tons of money that's rolling every second.
Right.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Pretty much. So, moving on from Sesame Street, you were one of the cast members in, speaking of Marty Robinson, his off-Broadway musical, All Hallows Eve.
Yeah.
What was it like working on that?
Yeah, well, it was cool. It was, I love just after him. A lot of him, I think, still lives in me all these years later. I love Halloween. I love big puppets. I love creatures and stuff. I don't like evil, demonic-y kind of things, but I love all kinds of big Halloween puppets. And so that was a total gas. Again, that was an amazing situation. The first time I did it, it was up at the National Puppetry Conference's home, the Eugene O'Neill Theater Center in Connecticut.
Yeah.
And the first time I worked on that, it was for a Henson grant that Marty had gotten to do the show up there for a couple of nights. So we rehearsed for a few weeks. Again, it was a lot of us, maybe 12 or so of us at least. And just super, super cool. Just incredible, turning this old barn that's up at the O'Neill into this creepy haunted house theater walkthrough experience. And then when it came down to New York, it was even more amazing because Marty gave me one of the principal characters to play, this giant, crazy clown. There's pictures out there somewhere, I'm sure, or I've got a bunch of them anyway. And yeah, just super cool. Just an amazing honor. And he said to me one of the very first days, he slaps a script down in front of me. He goes, "Hey, read this. I want you to try the clown." And I'm like, "Okay, well, what do you want him to sound like?" "Yeah, kind of scuzzy, kind of scary." I said, "Kind of like Krusty the Clown." So, okay, Krusty the Clown. And that's kind of how I do my hook for a lot of characters that I do, which was advice that he kind of gave me a long time ago. Think about voices you could do. And my way to get to it is by doing lousy impressions of other characters. So when I did this clown, "Hey, it's great to be a clown. Yeah, a kid and a clown go into a dark forest." And so that was kind of the bit, this big schmaltzy, ritzy clown who's just a total dirtbag. And that was kind of the way that we got to doing that. So it was a wonderful honor to be a part of that, and really lovely to join so many nice people that I look up to, even still look up to. And it's a cool experience. Fun to be able to go, take the subway down to the village and do our show and then hang out at night, whatever. It's cool old theater that really lent itself well to doing a creepy Halloween show.
Definitely. And I know, also speaking of Marty, you've done a handful of Little Shop of Horrors shows as a puppeteer and puppet instructor.
Yeah.
What was it like working on that?
Yeah, I love Little Shop. There was a period where I went through in college where I was just watching the movie over and over and over again, studying it. And now the movie, of course, is different from the stage performance of it. But,
Right.
Of course, most of the bones are there. Yeah, I love doing Little Shop. I think it's a terrific musical. Songs are really great. And again, that's another part of, I guess, Marty, that's sort of in my blood, is another generation of puppet guys now. And again, it's big puppets. It's a fun, creepy musical. There we have it. It's a lot of things that I look for.
Yeah, so you also have done some work for the Puppet Kitchen. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Puppet Kitchen, sure. Well, I was taking classes there for a long time. It's actually Puppet Kitchen. It's funny. Puppet Kitchen is built into the same theater that we did All Hallows Eve. So
Oh,
I'd be
wow.
working. Yeah, it
That's
was really
cool.
amazing. Where it was through a doorway, and then you're back in the old Puppet Kitchen spot. It's called Puppet Kitchen because it was a kitchen, by the way. It's not just where puppets are cooked or something. And they had big refrigerators that turned into cabinets and big slop sinks and whatever. So yeah, it was cool. It was really, really, again, really lovely. I had been going to Puppet Kitchen, taking classes. I believe in taking beginners classes from lots of different professionals, because I want to hear how Jen Barnhart's going to teach. I want to hear how Stephanie DeBruzo is going to teach, how Paul McGinnis is going to teach, Noel McNeil, Tyler Bunch, all these people, how they're all going to do puppet basics. Here's your lip sync, here's your eye focus, here's your lefts and rights and whatever. Yeah, there you go. All right, get that monitor focus on.
There you go,
That's
yeah.
exactly right. It's mirrored on Zoom though, so it's not that useful. Anyhow,
Right.
so I was going there for a long time. And finally, there was a change in the company, and they asked if I would take on running their monitor night, which was a monthly puppet workshop, for monitor puppetry. You go in, and it would be James Voital, or it would be, again, Noel McNeil, or a lot of these New York-based puppet folks. And we would take maybe 2 or 3 hours and go through the basics, and then it would be opened up for really the people who knew what they were doing to go in and learn a technique where we would learn about one shot, two shot. Great, I came in here, and then here comes the other guy, and how do you compose the frame, or about really specific, talking upstage, or high and low, and walking really right down straight to the camera. So a lot of really cool techniques that we were able to kind of share there and instruct a lot of people. And for some people, it was just like a weird, fun thing to do. We had one couple come in that said, "Yeah, we try to do a weird thing every month," and we were like, "Oh, I guess this is our month to be the weird thing." So these odd people from New York, but New York, a lot of odd people. I don't know where you guys are from, but we're full of it here.
I'm from Massachusetts.
Oh, great.
And me and Matt live in Maryland, which we're actually both an hour and a half away from each other.
Oh, are you guys going to the
Yeah.
Puppeteers of America festival?
We are.
Cool,
We'll be
good.
there.
Awesome.
Actually, it's like about a half hour from on a good day. On a good day,
Yeah.
it's a
On
half
a good
hour.
day.
Yeah.
It is because I hear traffic isn't the best in the morning. No, it's
Yeah,
not.
no, not in the Washington area.
It
I was just down there a
no,
few months ago,
not-
and I
not in the
stopped at that
Washington
Salmon
area.
Friends memorial that they have. You guys seen
Oh,
that?
yeah.
That beautiful
Yep.
concrete Salmon Friends park
Mm.
setup. Beautiful, really, really amazing.
Yeah, but we'll be there.
Cool,
Awesome.
good. Yeah, it's a good time.
Trying to-
Puppeteers of
trying to
America and Unima and the National
When-
Puppetry Conference, all things for puppet people to know about. Really important.
Nice.
Yeah. We're right now. We're trying to figure out what days to go and that kind of thing. I think
Great.
we'll definitely be there on the last day though, because I hear the last day is really going to be fun. Oh yeah. So
Cool.
yeah, we'll be there. We'll be there some days
Pretty
during
cool.
the festival.
Right
Yep.
on. Yeah, it's a good time. Sweet.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yes. So you also worked as a director for the Hudson Vagabond Puppets. Ooh,
Yeah.
intriguing.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hudson Vagabond is an old puppet company from it's got to be from the early 80s. I don't even honestly know the whole history of it because it's kind of had a funny history. Well, there's a theater company nearby where I live here on Long Island, where the man who runs it bought the puppet company and has kind of remounted their shows. So I've directed two or three, again, large, giant puppets, like a giant spider puppet or a big, huge butterfly. They have a dinosaur show that they would do that was all walk around puppets. And kind of the amazing thing is that I saw their dinosaur show when I was a kid. So to then be directing the dinosaur puppets myself, I was like, oh, it's a crazy full circle thing. Really just lovely to be able to say, great, I did this as a kid. Now I'm an adult making money doing it. So it's a really lovely field to be in for full circle stories.
Definitely.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for sure. So, aside from puppeteering for television and theater, you've also built many of your own puppets over the years. How did that come into play for you?
Well, I figured if I'm going to be a puppet performer or a theater, so I did. I started just with like hot glue and felt and burned myself a lot and made a lot of terrible mistakes and made a lot of really lousy puppets. But over time, I said, all right, let me, when it was actually when I took my first Muppet workshop where I said, all right, now I know what they look and they feel like. How do I replicate it? And I went out and bought the fleece and I bought the foam and the contact cement and all the pieces that I would need for it. And that was when I was in college. So again, I have my undergraduate degree in puppet arts from the University of Connecticut. And the undergrad program is a 4-year program that involves building and performing and designing and directing puppets of all kinds. So I was already getting trained in shadow puppets and marionettes and rod puppets and TV puppets and moving mouth puppets and glove puppets, name it. But I started building puppets probably, when I was in 6th or 7th grade, probably. So it's like 2005 maybe.
Nice. So
Started really crude, but I love building puppets. I freelance a lot, for people around the country building as well. It's kind of a joy to do.
yeah, I've seen some pictures on your website and social media of some of the puppets you've built. They're very nice.
Yeah, I've seen
Oh,
that.
yeah.
Thanks a lot.
It's really
Appreciate it.
amazing.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot.
Yeah, of course.
Of course. So now currently you work at the Long Island Children's Museum Theater, designing,
Yeah.
building, and performing various different types of puppets. What's that like?
Yeah, it's my second house. I work, Long Island.
Nice.
I'm there.
Aw.
I'm there constantly. Today's one of the rare days where I'm off. But I love doing it. Gosh, I love that place. Long Island Children's Museum is Long Island's like massive children's museum, a few minutes from my home. It was an old airplane hangar to give you the idea of the size. So it's massive. And they've got a really lovely intimate theater in there. It's like less than 150 seats. And we do about 3 or 4 main stage performances a year. We present shows, we produce shows. And back in my very first ever puppet job was on the same stage where I'm working today. So there's another full circle thing. I'm all about like full circle puppet moments. And that's an incredible thing to be able to do now. I went to this museum when I was a kid. They had a doozer on display from Fraggle Rock. And I remember
Oh,
seeing
my
that. It's
gosh.
like, wow,
Wow.
Muppets on display. And now I work there,
Wow.
which is crazy cool. And then, my very first ever puppet gig was on the same stage. And that was 13 years ago, something like that.
Nice.
12 years ago.
Wow.
And I just love being there. We do a lot of shows based on literature. So right now we're doing Elephant and Piggies. We're in a play. And Don't Let the Pigeon Drive the Bus, the musical. So,
Oh, cool.
and for that, I've built the pit. I don't know if
Awesome.
you guys have read these books, but they're hilarious kids' books by Mo Willems, who wrote for Sesame Street. So it's all piled
That's
on top
right.
of each other.
Yes.
You know,
Oh,
it's all
Mo Willems
all
is
layers. It all comes
fantastic.
back. Yeah, he's terrifically funny. And so right now we're doing these great musicals that have just been selling out like crazy. Elephant and Piggy has been called the Hamilton of kids theater because you can't get tickets for it. We've had scalpers, we've had parents crying, we've had everybody wants to get into our little theater. And again, it's such a small theater that it's nice. We get to do a long run, to get all these people in. We can only have so many people at a time, but it's really a joy to be there. And really an incredible thing to me, or that I feel it's incredible, to be a kid's first time seeing puppets, seeing theater, seeing storytelling. We have people come in every week. Oh, this is my kid's first show. Crazy cool. Come on in. Welcome. And really just a joy to be able to do the highest quality theater that we can. And there's a great team of people there. A man named Jim Packard, who I love so much, who's been another mentor to me, who runs the theater there. He's been knocking himself out doing this great show, or this great whole theater for about 20 years now. And so, I've been very blessed to have a lot of mentors who I really love and look up to and respect. And I want to be mentors for people too, So I'm really glad to share puppet stuff when I can.
Awesome. Definitely.
Scalpers for for a puppet show. Who would have thought? Right?
I know.
For a
Yeah,
puppet
it's
show. Scalpers.
that's
My
right. Yeah,
goodness,
exactly.
that's...
Yeah, you wouldn't think so, but they're out there. People that want it
No,
bad
you
enough,
really
which is
wouldn't.
nice.
I know.
Yeah, I know. It's also kind of interesting. You mentioned like kids' first theater show. Well, my dad and I went up to see Sesame Street the musical when it was in New York last fall,
Yeah.
and it was, first off, it was wonderful.
Yeah.
It was a lot of kids there though, and it was, for most of them, it was their first theater show on Broadway. So it was his first. Hey, you're a kid at heart. Yeah, sure.
Yeah. I think there's a
So
lot of
yeah,
that.
I can
Some Jim
kind
Henson
of
quote
see
about it
where
being a
a lot
child
of the
inside.
Yeah, definitely. So now, for any up and coming puppeteer who wants to get into that field, I know you talked a little bit earlier about getting advice, but what piece of advice would you give to anyone who wants to get into puppetry as a profession?
I would say in puppetry, you have to be the hardest boss you're ever going to have. If you don't want it, like mad, it's not going to happen. It's not going to fall into your lap. You have to absolutely work beyond hard. You have to meet as many people as you can, go to as many shows as you can, study it as hard as you can. There's a difference between fandom and craft, and I had to learn that, because I got all the fandom. Yeah, I got all the books and the DVDs and everything. Yeah, I love that joke that Miss Piggy does on that one. But then there's, why is the joke funny? Then there's, why is Frank Oz brilliant? There's, how does the puppet do this one move that makes it so believable or so funny? Because again, we're watching puppets. They're objects. There's no life to them except the life that we give them, by any means of performing them. And
Right.
I would say just to really study the craft, study the characters, and really just work so hard at it. And if
Absolutely.
you want it bad enough, you're either going to make it happen or something's going to come to you. But you got to meet in the middle at least and be ready for it.
Of course. Definitely a great piece of
That
advice.
goes for
Absolutely.
everything, I think.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So, what would you like to say to those who have supported the projects you've worked on over the years?
Oh gosh, I'm just so thankful for so many people that have been in my life and who've believed in me, who've given me a shot, who've been there to kind of pick me up or push me forward and to kind of watch me fly when I'm flying on my own and to kind of catch me when I stop flying. And I've just got incredible supportive parents and family and a wife and my brother and just my all the bosses I've had, all the Marty Robinsons, all the Jim Packards, all the Hudson Vagabond people, everybody at the Children's Museum. Just very beyond blessed. Thank God for all these people.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
For sure. So, if people would like to connect with you, where can people find you?
Cool. Yeah, I'm on Instagram. I try to post only puppet stuff on my Instagram. Stuck in LVCR. I'm on there. Gosh, I have a website that I've been working on. I just have not had time to work on a website. I mean, you guys said you saw it, and I'm almost embarrassed. It's needed a facelift for probably 2 years. I started working on it during COVID, and then said, "Oh, now I'm working too much," which is kind of a good sign. And yeah, we're doing a puppet slam on Long Island in June at the Cinema Arts Center in Huntington, where we're going to have
Nice.
some really wonderfully funny puppet artists. That's at Cinema Arts Center, Huntington, June 1st of what year is it? 2023. So yeah, lots of ways to come find me. Come visit the Children's Museum Theater. Come see a show and come say hi or something like that.
Nice. Links to your social media and your website will be in the description down below for people
Right.
to connect with you. So, since we're about to wrap up, the last question that Jake's about to ask is the question that we ask all of our guests at the end.
Yes. So, of course, this podcast is called Jake's Happy Nostalgia Show. When you think of nostalgia, what do you think of, or in your own words, how would you define the word nostalgia?
Okay, well, I'm gonna answer those in opposite order. How would I define nostalgia? I would define nostalgia as uh, kind of anything from maybe a simpler time in life, maybe when you're growing up, that kind of brings you comfort, brings back good memories, good fun memories. And I think, what do I think of when I think of nostalgia? I think of watching Muppet Show tapes. I think of sitting in my
Oh,
grandparents' basement with a little TV, or going to children's museums with my parents and seeing puppets on display, going to puppet shows, and I just love that feeling. And I know that it's maybe a cheap cash grab to play off of feelings, but I think when you can really make somebody happy with your craft, it's really a gift.
Yeah.
Awesome. Definitely
Great way to stand off.
agree with that. And so
Thank you.
tomorrow we're actually interviewing one of your great friends, Cam Garrity.
Oh, I love Cam Garrity. Oh gosh, I'm nuts about Cam Garrity. Yeah.
Yeah, he's great. I love his podcast too, Puppeteers with Adam.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Let me think of something to like ask you to ask him just to bust his chops a little bit. I'll have to think about it.
Okay.
Gosh, I love Cam. Yeah, we went to the National Puppetry Conference for many years together. You know what you should ask him? Somebody write this down.
Okay.
Ask him if scraping ketchup off of a burger is legitimate. Because he and I, for years, have said if they put ketchup on a burger, you can't just scrape it off. It's still going to taste like ketchup.
Right.
He'll know exactly who asked that question. Well, we had a viewer write in and ask a question of him. Yeah,
there you
Cam, if somebody puts ketchup or mayo on a burger, can it just be scraped off?
Oh my gosh.
And he'll know
It's
the answer.
legitimate. Okay. Yep, I got it.
That would be nice. Well, Austin, thank you so much for taking the time to do this. This was a blast.
Yes.
You are
Yes,
so
thank
very
you so
welcome. I'm
much.
just happy to hang with you guys, and nice that
Yeah,
we
of
finally
course,
met at
and-
work.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Now-
awesome. And thank you so much, for what you've done, to be a part of our lives, and keep up your great work, and what's next for you.
Oh, gee, thanks a lot. Yeah, God bless you guys. I hope
course.
whatever you guys are working on
too.
goes well too. Eager to see what
Yes.
we come up with here.
All right. Well, yeah, again, Austin, thank you so much for doing this. We'll tell Cam you said hi, and we'll
Yes.
Yeah.
ask him that
we should do.
question anonymously.
Yeah.
Good. Yeah.
got-
You got to
got
ask him
my answer.
anonymously first.
Yes.
Yes.
We had a viewer write in and ask if yada yada yada.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be like, okay, so is the
Yeah.
Right. Good.
That's great. Well, enjoy the rest of your day, Austin.
Yeah. Thanks,
yes.
gang. Take care. Nice to see you all.
Yes, thank you.
Yes,
so much.
keep
Take care.
in
Enjoy
touch,
the
of
rest your
course,
day.
and I'll let you know when this goes up.
Yeah, great. I'll be looking forward to it. Cool.
All right. Take care, Austin. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Bye, guys.
See you,
Bye
Austin.
now.
Bye.
Awesome.
Bye. Bye.
Bye. Bye. It's goodbye from us as well.
Yes,
Yes.
indeed.
So we absolutely
Yes.
enjoyed our time with Austin Costello. And as always, what do we say, Jake?
Keep nostalgia alive. See you next time, everyone.
Yes.
More episodes.
Yes.
Right.
Goodbye.
Bye, everyone.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you for tuning in to another wonderful Jake's Happy Nostalgia Show interview. Be sure to follow Jake and the crew on social media and stream the show wherever you find your favorite podcasts. And as always, remember to keep nostalgia alive. Bye-bye.